This is a call of the President of the United States, and he should make it, the period. It's actually straightforward. It's not a hard call. The idea that you don't starve 2 million people is not a hard call. That you don't bomb them to submission. That you don't bomb them out of their homes, hospitals, schools, mosques, clinics, water supply, and then tell them to fly to Libya, for God's sake. No, this is not how the world's going to survive. People need to be able to live in their homes without bombs falling on their head. That's basic. And it raises another point that I think needs to be explained very carefully. Being against Israel's murderous ways has nothing at all to do with anti-Semitism.
Oh, but Jeff, the Zionist lobby in America equates the two. It is an immoral, anti-intellectual, baseless equation.
A document called Project Esther, and it is a document that essentially claims that the opposition to Israel is because of a Hamas lobby and a terrorist lobby and just an obscene bunch of ignorance and viciousness and complete ignorance of the true history that is engaged in mass murder is wrong and somehow anti-Semitic is simply the most fatuous, empty, ignorant falsehood that we're being told right now. It's amazing to me.
The United States has dispatched a team of FBI agents and federal prosecutors to look for anti-Semitic speech.
Israel and so-called Zionism is a state project. It is not a religious project. Religious communities, Jewish communities, have been against Zionism, have been against the concept. That's true in my neighborhood in New York. We have significant Jewish communities who think that Zionism is completely against Jewish law, by the way. So there's so much ignorance on this point. It's amazing, but it's all sloganeering. And it's interesting.
What is anti-Semitism?
Anti-Semitism is a discrimination against Jews on a basis of their religion, period. And being against Zionism is against a particular state project. And many rabbis, many of the most learned rabbis, were against the state of Israel. And it's just a fascinating point in Jewish religious thought that there is a large body of thought, very deeply established in the Talmud, which when Zionism started in the 19th century, it was first of all a claim that Jews should go back to the Holy Land. It wasn't a Jewish idea, it was an evangelical Christian idea. In the early 19th century, that's where modern Zionism started, with evangelical Christians. It was picked up by secular Jews at the end of the 19th century, and most religious Jews, most rabbis, said, but the Talmud says no, that this is against Jewish law. The most important reason for the Ukraine war was an absolutely dumb project of the American deep state, the CIA, and the foreign policy establishment for 30 years to push NATO right up against Russia's nose in Ukraine, as if, you know, in our continent it would be like Russia setting up military bases in Mexico or Canada. It just would not happen. But the United States tried that vis-a-vis Russia for 30 years. That's the root cause of this war. We're going to be part of NATO. We don't give up any land. We don't do anything. We decide everything. Blah, blah, blah. No concessions. We need to defeat Russia. And then a number of European leaders jump up and down, Starmer and Macron and Merz and Tusk and others. No, we must stand with Ukraine to continue to fight Russia. And Trump and Putin are looking at each other and saying, look, this war could end on rational grounds that respects Ukraine's sovereignty and respects Russia's sovereignty and security for both Ukrainian regime. And by the way, it's a regime. Zelensky rules by martial law.
Right.
And so is he reflecting the real interest of the population? Is his view to fight on no matter what tested at the polls? Do the Ukrainian people really want to continue to lose 1,000 to 2,000 people? Is it hand if they want it?
Well, do you think that the Russians would accept anything less than no NATO, Crimea, and the four oblasts that we've all been talking about, recognized as part of Russia and Ukraine as a neutral country?
I think non-negotiable is no NATO and Ukrainian neutrality. This is the core of the war.